Just 90 days ago, this account had under 1,000 followers. Today, it's past 10,000 with about 1.5 million views. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact system that did it all. Every tool, every automation, in the order that I built them. Now, here's what most people will tell you to do with social media. They'll say, post every day, stay consistent, study the algorithm, and live inside the app so you catch trends the second that they happen, and batch your filming, use the trending audio, and eventually the numbers just go up. And I personally did almost none of that. I deleted Instagram off my phone in the first month, and my growth went up, not down. Because this is the lesson that I figured out. Content isn't just a consistency problem, it's an input problem. Most people are guessing at what to make and then working incredibly hard to publish the guess. But instead, when your inputs are validated before you ever turn on a camera, you stop needing to post constantly because a much higher percentage of what you do post actually works. But in case you didn't know, my name's Kyle. I'm a founder at Disruptors Media and a Chief AI Officer service. All day, every day, I build AI automation systems for service businesses of all kinds, like your contractors, medical practices, law firms, and the kind of businesses doing real revenue that has never had time to figure out content. And we install this exact system for clients now with some great results. Like a solo therapist we helped to climb to 21,000 followers on Instagram in just 6 months, which tripled their demand and doubled their prices. Or a chiropractor we got to 6.7 million views on a video on TikTok within just 45 days of the campaign. So guys, let's dive in. We'll cover 4 essential systems: the audience builder, the daily research feed that replaced scrolling, the content pipeline, and the filming systems. Oh, and by the way, all this runs on the cost of a couple of monthly softwares, so really anyone can do this as long as you choose to work smarter, not harder. Now, before you touch a single tool, you need one document that says exactly who it is that you're talking to. And I don't mean something vague like entrepreneurs or small business owners. I mean one specific person. Here's how I do it. There's a Claude skill called Audience Bullseye. And I got this direct from Callaway, so shout out to him. He's got some fantastic stuff when it comes to AI with content. All you gotta do is paste the skill into your Claude desktop app, and it asks you a series of questions, and it builds the asset for you. And for me, it just took about 15 minutes to do. But what comes out is a target with rings. The center is your exact person. In marketing jargon, that's your ICP, aka your ideal customer persona. And for me, the center is an 18 to 25-year-old who wants to build an AI-powered marketing service so they can skip the 9 to 5. And that is literally a younger version of me. And I love this audience because who am I better positioned to help than a younger version of myself? But then each ring moving outward loosens exactly one of the things about that person. But here's why this has to come first. Your bullseye is the input every other tool in this video needs to run properly. Because if you skip this step, then the rest of these systems will happily feed you excellent content ideas for an audience that you don't actually want and who doesn't actually buy. So that, in a nutshell, is the foundation, and most people never really build it. Now, the system that actually changed my actual week, day to day, is the next one. So let's get into it. And guys, this is the one that actually let me delete Instagram off of my phone entirely. I'm talking about the leaders list and the daily outlier feed. Here's the thing that nobody says out loud. You don't need to be creative per se. You need to be well informed on your topic. Plus, you need to weigh in on that topic in the way that only you can, but also in the formatting and in the language structure that people on these different applications and social medias actually understand and enjoy consuming. And the very best way to get daily feeds of exactly what is the content that everyone is talking about in your niche, and also the best way to format the talk around that topic, is to go and find that content from your best competitors that are already speaking to your ideal audience every single day. So this is what it looks like for me. Every morning before I do anything else, I get a report, and it's a short list of the best performing posts from the last day, pulled from creators who are already winning with the exact audience in my bullseye. And this isn't just random viral stuff. No, it's the outliers from the best competitors that I've got. the posts that beat their own average by at least 3 times or more. And all I have to do is read this report, I click the 2 or 3 that matter the most, and I'm done. That is my entire research process for content. And it just takes 3 pieces to build this. First is the leaders list, and I use a tool called Sandcastles.ai. It costs $49 a month, and it is probably the best money I've ever spent when it comes to content. And inside it, there's a watch list feature, and that watch list is the single most important thing in this video. And to build mine, I handed Claude my Bullseye and asked it to find creators talking about similar concepts to a similar audience as me. Sandcastle scrapes every video from everyone on your list and gives you a weekly rundown of what actually worked for them. And it's broken out by topics, by hook, by format, by scripting tactic. And this is a great way to narrow down and get very specific about what kinds of things are working for them and what things aren't working. Plus, you can also search their entire library or filter their content out by outlier score, engagement level, or by the recency of the post itself. So in short, this is a search engine for content that's already proven to work in your niche. And here's what makes this automatic. Sandcastles has an MCP tool, which just means that you can plug it straight into your Claude. And guys, I'll link the setup guides you'll need down below in the description, along with a detailed guide on everything I'm showing you here in this video. So check out that resource and you'll have all the skill files, the assets, and the instructions you need to start running this same thing tomorrow. But anyway, once the Sandcastles MCP is connected to your Claude, I run a scheduled task every single morning that pulls the outliers plus each leader's most recent post and puts the whole thing in front of me in my Claude. So in that way, the feed comes to me and I never have to go to it. So at this point, Instagram is off my phone and I've never been more current on what's actually working in my niche. And I'm personally really grateful for that because I'd rather not get sucked into the vortex of social media and all the dopamine inducing stuff that's on there. And guys, now that you've got this set up, you have more proven content ideas than you could possibly ever use, which creates the problem that actually kills most people's content, and it isn't the one that you're expecting. So we got to talk about the content operating system. The reason business owners fail at content isn't just ideas, it's that the ideas live in your Notes app, the script lives in your Google Docs, and the raw footage lives in your camera roll, and your editor lives in a text thread. And if you're ever going to win in content, that's just not going to work. It's too disorganized. For me personally, everything runs through one Notion board with some columns. Ideas, scripting, to film, filmed, edited, needs review, and posted. And when you click inside of any one of these cards, you see all the things that you need to know about any unique piece of content. And you can just drag that from ideas to scripting, all the way to posting when you finally post the piece. And after I film shooting all the content, I can actually drop the link of the footage right inside of the card and slide that over to the to edit column. And my editors can see this board 24/7, so all they have to do is pull the content from this Notion and go to edit. And I've also got a place to assign editors, link out another piece of content as a piece of inspiration, and a number of other really useful slots on these cards themselves, so that way your team can communicate effectively when it comes to delivering this content well. So once I film and drop the raw video link from Dropbox inside of this card, I'm pretty much done. But let me show you the piece that makes capturing winning ideas virtually effortless. I built an automation in N8N connecting to Apify and a Telegram. And when I see a piece of content worth studying and replicating from my daily report, I paste the link into the Telegram chat. And that's it. The automation pulls the video, it transcribes it, and creates a card in the ideas column of my board with the full transcript plus the original link attached. So that way when I sit down to script, I'm not working from some vague memory of a good video. No, I've got the actual words that worked for the original creator sitting right next to my idea. And guys, naturally I'd recommend that you rewrite the script to add your unique take instead of just leaving it as is, because that's literally copying. But when you repurpose these scripts, I would recommend that you keep some of the components of what made the original piece go viral in the first place. Because obviously something worked because you saw it and hundreds of thousands of other people saw it too. And guys, this N8N flow is also free in the resource that I've plugged down in the description of this video. All you have to do is just download the JSON file, drag that into N8N, and then plug in your own Telegram, Apify, and Notion board. And if that's something that you don't know how to do, you can contact me and my team to get this set up for you, as well as this entire content system. And plus, we've got a full staff of top-notch video editors at the ready when you need them. And each of these guys are absolute studs. The culture in our team is you have to level up your skill set with AI daily, because otherwise you'll become obsolete. So these guys can easily edit 3 to 5 pieces of content in the time it would take a normal person just to do one. Anyway, enough with the self-promo. Now you have a full board of content ideas, a place to organize them, and scripts ready to go. Now, let's talk about filming. As for me, I usually just film once a week for about 60 minutes, and that is enough time for me to film enough video to post at least 2 pieces of video content every single day. Now, that might sound like a flex, but it really isn't. It's just the product of good systems. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time to drop my business and film as if I were a full-time content creator. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you have a lot on your plate, but you recognize that content is important, and you've been putting it off because you just haven't had time. Well, that was the exact problem that I was facing, so I had to create the proper systems that allow me to get the job done very, very quickly. And actually, my whole setup, which I'll show you a video of, is one of the reasons why this is so simple and effective. I've got my whole studio setup connected, so I just flip on a switch, look at the teleprompter, and speak words. And by the time that I sit down here in this chair, every script for the week is already written and ready for me to go. So I'm not deciding what to say, I'm literally just delivering. But let me share a little piece of wisdom that I learned that I really love and I share with pretty much all of my content clients. You have to ritualize content. Well, what does that mean? It means you've got to make it easier for yourself, and you got to make it a natural routine. Because when I film content, I have to make 0 decisions in the hour that I film. You might be like me, where you really don't like being in front of the camera, so this was an absolute must for me personally, because I really refuse to spend my time setting up an iPhone and a tripod, get all the lighting and the audio and everything else right, and then do 3 to 5 takes just to see that I don't like any of them. Ain't no way that there's any scalability in that. If that were my process, I'd only get 2 pieces of content out total for the week instead of 2 every single day. So do yourself a favor and take the decisions out. And 1 hour a week is genuinely enough for filming, especially when you're first starting out. So that, guys, is the personal system start to finish. And again, check out the free resource in the description for all the free assets that you've seen here today. And yeah, that's the whole thing. Get your bullseye locked in so that you know exactly who you're talking to first. Then build a leaders list and let it feed you validated ideas every morning instead of scrolling for them. And run everything through one board so nothing dies in the camera roll, and film a week's worth of content in an hour with a teleprompter and a proper system for filming. This is the exact system that I personally used to land about 12,000 new followers in just 90 days, plus about 1.5 million views. And again, it's not because I work harder than you per se, but because I created a proper system that makes everything so much easier and so much more intelligent. So go check out the resource where you can get the skills, the leaders list, the board template, the automation, and all in the order that you need to install them, with all the links that you're going to need. It's free, it's right there in the description, so go grab it and build this today. And if this was useful, hit like so that more AI forward entrepreneurs can see this just like you, and subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out one of these every single week on how to actually use this stuff, not the hype version of what AI is hypothetically. No, the real stuff that real businesses are using every single day. So follow for more ways to thrive in the age of AI, and I'll see you in the next one.